Now after that, the therapist I was seeing told my mom that she needed to admit me to a psychiatric ward for children. I was 5 years old. I'm about to tell you why I was forced to see therapists at 4 years old and why they told my mom to put me in a psychiatric ward when I was 5. First, I'd like to thank you for watching this video because I know it's going to help a lot of people. But it's about to get intense and I hope this doesn't bring up any trauma for you like it does for me. I get spanked, hit with the belt, and when that didn't work, the metal buckle end of it, I get hit with random household objects, locked in the closet and fed crackers for days at a time. But that story's a bit special. There's a lot to that, so I'll tell that separately in another video. What I'm saying is, imagine how bad the kid has to be to feel like doing those things to him would help the situation. Like, what was in my mom and my stepdad's mind? I was really, really bad. Nothing would make me listen. I think I was just lashing out because even as a kid, I kind of understood that my father was dying in front of me slowly, and I had to learn sign language to talk to him because he was deaf and in a wheelchair. And then there was this other guy dating my mom who clearly thought that I was in his way before this stuff I'm even about to tell you about. Now, I used to see my mom get beat and raped by her previous boyfriend who, threw her down the stairs, broke her arm, was very abusive. And I believe seeing that type of stuff really, really added to it. And I also had tons of energy and I had nowhere else to direct it. I had no idea how to control it. It's like being an X-Men, not to be corny, but it's like being an X-Men with powers, but you don't know how to control them, because you're too young. So you keep hurting people on accident. X-Men, that makes sense. How do I say this without sounding crazy? So they caught me in my little brother's crib with a knife in the middle of the night. And yes, that's very true. It was really just the last straw. I'm gonna play some audio of my mom talking about it. What about that time that you guys caught me in little Billy's crib and I had a knife? Was that real, or are you messing with me?
No, you did. After that incident is when we started going to counseling with you. We were going to a counselor and he said, let's put him in the hospital and see what's going on.
Now after that, the therapist I was seeing told my mom that she needed to admit me to a psychiatric ward for children. I was 5 years old. I was actually put in 2 other ones around 9 and 10 years old, but I'll talk about those crazy reasons in another video. The only real thing that I remember about the psychiatric ward from when I was 5 was the layout. I can remember right now, I can remember everything. And if we were good, we got to play video games that were on a cart that had a TV on it. They wheel it out and we get to play video games. It's kind of all I like there. But because of my behavior, it was taking time and energy from my stepdad being able to be happy with my mom and his newborn son, who they found me in the crib with a knife. So really my stepdad really wanted to get rid of me. But what screwed up is my dad is actually the one who introduced my mom to my stepdad because my dad knew he was dying from the moment that I was born. And he thought that somebody who was his friend would care about me and raise me as his own no matter what, since my dad and him were friends. My dad was terribly wrong. Now this part I'm about to tell you, I didn't find out this extremely messed up information out until just a few years ago. And when I found out, it really made me angry at my mom. And it was the moment I truly started hating my stepdad. Like, really gave me the real reason. I was on a phone call with my grandma Regina, collecting all the information for my life story like this to make sure that I had everything in order and knew all the facts before I got it tattooed on me, because my story's on my arms. She told me that my stepdad convinced my mom to sign paperwork for the adoption, actually, to go into the homes. That said, after I was gone, no one was legally allowed to request or get any information about me, or where I had went, or if I was adopted from the orphanage that they were gonna put me in. It was literally like writing somebody out of your life. My stepdad really just wanted me gone, like forever, so that he could enjoy his life and never have to worry about me ever again. And that's why I hated him. It's because in my mind, my whole life, I knew he was mean to me or always screwing with me. And I have 150 stories. But when I found this out, this is like a different kind of evil. And I'm sure you can agree with me. Yeah. So here's the problem. At 5 years old, my dad was still alive when they were trying to give me up. And then they tried to do this. And here's why it didn't work. See, my dad's brain tumors were so bad, he was crippled and in a wheelchair, and the only place they could take care of him was an old folks home. And then it gets even more messed up when you realize my dad was only in his 20s at the time. And my stepdad assumed, because my father was debilitated, that if he attempted to give me up for adoption to get rid of me forever, then my father's status and health and being debilitated wouldn't allow my father to have a say in if I was given away. And he had already convinced my mom. And they talked to my father. But, really fortunate for me was that Child Protective Services were made aware of this situation. And they went to the old folks home and they talked to my father. And he was like, I have no idea. And I can only imagine the fear that he felt. I never thought about the way that he felt when he got that information. But basically, they stopped it. Child Protective Services stopped it so that I didn't have to go into those orphanages. Yeah, I got a lot more story to tell. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Do me a favor. Please share your painful or joyful stories, opinions, and thoughts about my story from this video below in the comments. And the reason I'm asking you that is because you never know who will read it and who your story or your comments will help in the future when they come across this video. Because I'm going to be really promoting this to help people. And if you have a few seconds, please comment and help others who are willing to tell their stories below. Just so that they know that they're heard by other people, and then that there are other people out there who do care, because these people, like I didn't have anybody to listen. And I'd also like to see what you want to change about your life right now too. What do you want to change? If you're struggling with anything, write it out. There's no one judging you, not here. You'll also notice that I'm in the comments responding to people as well. So leave those comments below, I appreciate it. And then one more thing, please like this video while subscribing too, because it will help me share my story to more people and inspire them because of how the YouTube algorithm works. When you do things like and subscribe this video, it really helps me out, right? So to hear the next screwed up part of my story and see what other kinds of crazy stories happen, and I have a lot of them, I put all the stories that were part of my life song story below this video for you with titles that'll make you want to see every single one of them. They're the craziest stories of my life, all below this video. I'll also put a few on the screen here for you to check out while one of my songs that fits this story plays in the background. I'm Rob Level. Keep believing in yourself and keep hustling. I'll see you at the top.
Level. Ooh, I would've thought by now that I'd be way past these days. By now that my top be down on my brand new black Mercedes. Thought I would've made it by now. 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 Working 9 to 5, saving to survive. Pay the bills and put a little to the side.